Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my new Let's Play, Wario Land 3. Potentially up there with Pokemon 4, the greatest Game Boy game of all time. Definitely one of my absolute favourites, I'm so excited to be doing it. So, without any further ado, let's get on with the show. Are you aware, Wario? This world is in the music box you are peering into. I was the god that protected this world. But one day, a wicked being sealed away my power and took control of this world. Wario, I want you to find the 5 music boxes needed to break the hidden seal and recover my powers. If you find them, I'll send you back to your own world. Of course, all the treasure you find is yours to keep. Will you help me? So, here we are on the overworld. We've had pretty much all the plot of the game. It's that straightforward of just gather the 5 musical boxes. And you can see on the right, on the kind of crazy visualizer I've got up, that's where the musical boxes will be displayed as I get them. The first level, Out of the Woods, is unlocked. So, it's all navigated by a map screen, and this is the only place we can go, so let's go in here. Basic kind of stuff, left the stick moves around, jump, and pressing B does a little dash tackle. Dash tackling can break these cracked blocks, but not these kind of solid blocks. Enemies, jumping on them doesn't do anything to them, it just stuns them. You can dash them to kill them. They don't have to be stunned for you to dash them to kill them, but you have to dash them from behind, because if you hit them from the front, this happens. It makes a noise and you go flying back. One of the innovations of this game, you are invincible. You literally cannot die, you have no health, but all enemies have some way of, basically, they'll stun you and you'll go flying back. If these things hit you, you go electrocuted, stuff like that. And that alone makes for a kind of really interesting gameplay, where you can't die, but the game finds ways still to kind of piss you off, and I'll talk more about that later. Firstly, on the left, you'll notice there are 4 slots for keys, and indeed there are 4 treasures on each level, which require 4 keys. The first one is always the grey key, which we've just got now, and that'll have updated on the side. Generally, you progress through each level doing the 4 treasures in the order grey, red, green, blue, but generally, with each level, you can only do the treasures that have been unlocked, and usually only the grey one is unlocked by default, so that's what we'll be doing on this one. If we stand on this hill and press down, we start rolling. When we're rolling, we smash through shit, get a musical coin. There's 8 musical coins in each level, and they're used for something, which I'll talk about later when I get more close to it. Let's go kill these annoying things, and go away. So we've got the grey key, and here is the grey treasure chest. Relatively straightforward, let's open it. And we get our first treasure of the game. This is the Axe of Destruction. Unnecessarily epic name, got a musical coin, that'll now update on the right. Generally, the visualizer, I've got split into 2 parts. The left is for the level we're currently on, and the right is for the general totals, so that'll just update as we go along. So as you can see, that cut down the tree and opened 2 levels. the vast majority of treasures you can get in the game will open new levels or existing paths, or new paths in existing levels, because there on Out of the Woods we could only go through the grey pathway, really. We couldn't get to the other parts. But eventually we get items that open different parts of the levels and stuff like that, so each level you will come back to in total 4 times. But anyway, it's switched to nighttime now, and this does make a bit of a difference, but let's go for level 2, which is, well, North 2, which is the Peaceful Village. So now we kind of see, there's an interesting concept. Go away, Paragoom. Oh no, oh! Well, there we have it. There are lots of forms of Wario in this. They're all kind of... The game markets them to you like they're a kind of curse or a bad thing, but in reality, while being slightly annoying at times, they all have to give you some kind of power you wouldn't have otherwise. Oh, if these zombies, touch you, you turn into Zombie Wario. You move slowly and can't jump very high, and turning in the light turns you back into human. But, there are advantages of it, which I will show you in just a second. There's a bit up ahead where we actually need it. And there's about 12 of those total kind of power-ups of Wario that all kind of actually have their own advantages. Such as here, if this fellow hits you, you turn into Spring Wario and start kind of bouncing around. Got a musical coin there. Can be annoying, but it can be really helpful so that you can... I'm not jumping, it just does that automatically. I can press and hold A to kind of do super jumps, but that's about it. And you can see what I mean, if these kind of, they piss you off in some ways, but also they can help you, and that in itself is kind of quite a clever concept as well. There's a lot of unique stuff in this game, and I've never really come across any game that does a lot of these... Oh, fair enough. A lot of the things that this game does, like the idea of kind of being immortal, well, not immortal, but like invincible, the idea of going through each level 4 times. Also, anything that you touch when you're a zombie, you will kill. Anyway, see these platforms, these kind of thin platforms, if you jump on them as Zombie Wario, you'll fall right through them, which is kind of cool. And if we go over here, get a musical coin, and a light to kind of turn us back to normal, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of the power you get for being Zombie Wario, is that. So, we've got the Grey Key, so let's find the Grey Treasure, which I believe is just through here. You'll also notice, it's nighttime, and then there's daytime as well. Some levels change between day and night, some don't. There's a lot of kind of obvious changes, like enemies tend to be sleeping at night and stuff like that, but this level has some quite big changes between day and night, which I'll talk through in a sec. But anyway, Great Treasure. It's a blue thing. Specifically, it is the slightly weirdly named Colourless Mountain Slate, even though it's clearly blue, but there is a reason for that, which I'll talk about shortly. But if we... So now it's back to daytime again. If we go into the Peaceful Village, now it's changed. And instead of the zombies which we had at night, we now have these things that are called Donut Ears. They, rather than zombies turning into zombies, these turn you into, ooh, Fat Wario. So you kind of move slowly, can't jump very high, you ground pound when you hit. The only way to turn back into human, like normal Wario, is to exercise. So moving, jumping a lot, eventually you kind of go back. But I kind of wanted to point this out because you can do this level either... Oh no, they got me again. You can do this level either day or night. If you do it at night, obviously you use Zombie Wario to fall down here. But if it's daytime, then you can crack through those blocks with Donut Fat Wario. That's what I meant to say. And that's how you kind of get the treasure, well, the key that way. But anyway, let's enough of that. Let's go back to the map. Now you'll have noticed that Colourless Mountain Slate didn't do anything, so might as well, and we can't do the red treasure in the Peaceful Village yet, take my word for it. So let's go along to the Vast Plain. You'll notice as the map, because the map updates and changes a lot, as that happens, the map on the bottom of the visualizer will do a similar thing. These are a slightly annoying enemy here. These things are called Terus, and if they land on your head, you go completely dark. You can still move around normally, and the only way to get them off is walk onto a wall and they fuck off. This thing here kind of covers the... It's like a gate, I suppose it is, that covers the thing if you're near it, because the eye is watching you. But there's a way to sneak through it. This fella up here is a Mad Scienstein. Grab his potion, and you turn invisible. You can only tell where you are from either the scuff marks Wario makes when he walks, or when he briefly appears. So what we actually need to do is... get all the way through this part of the level as invisible. Even if you get hit, you'll stay invisible. There's only one way to turn back, which I'll explain shortly. So there's the grey chest, which you can't get yet, and there's the grey key. If you're not invisible at this point, you can't get the grey key, because obviously that thing's there watching you. But even though we're invisible, because we're invisible even, we can't get the chest. So we need to turn back visible, which is done, weirdly enough, by going through that tube. No, me neither. But anyway. You'll see kind of more of this game as we go on. Like in the early game, most treasures just tend to unlock other levels, but there's two kind of types of treasure. There's the ones that unlock new levels, and there's one that kind of create changes in pre-existing levels, and we'll have a couple of them as we get later on, because as I say, there's 4 paths through each one, and usually only the grey path is unlocked first. There are... in total in the game there's 100 treasures, of which like 5 are music boxes and 9 are kind of power-ups, which I'll talk about when we get them. But anyway, this is the second colourless mountain slate, also not colourless. But so both of those slates together open the path through to the second map, to the west. And you'll see now why this is called the colourless mountain slate, because in fact, the mountain is colourless, not the slate. It's just a slightly odd grammar thing. Anyway, now we're going to Desert Ruins, and this is a slightly interesting level, because basically, there are 2 ways through it. This is a rare level in which you can access both the grey and green treasure from the start. But, if we go across here and avoid the sand hands... Sand hands! Oh, the sand hand got me. Right, if you fall in the sand, like, you fall in it, but jumping repeatedly kind of brings you up again. You just have to kind of get across without being grabbed by the sand hands. I always used to call them Grimers when I was a kid because they looked like the Pokemon Grimer to me, but oh no! Oh, this is going to be irritating, isn't it? This is what I mean when I say, like, you can't die in this game, but the game does also know how to kind of stop you from doing things. So you can see there's this sun barrier that's lifted up. Were it nighttime, that would be closed. So let's go through this door anyway, this is the one that's open, because if you just kill this spearhead, go through there. Ah, you little bugger. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that, the music was briefly deafeningly loud and I had to kind of turn it down because I have it on headphones obviously so it doesn't pick up on the recording, but I think it might have been doing that anyway because of how loud it was. Anyway, if you come up here, we kind of need to do, you can move around crouching, and if you kind of hold crouch and across here and jump, you'll kind of fit into that tiny little thing and get the grey key. So at night time, you'll be able to come in here and get the key at night time, but then this barrier would be down, so you wouldn't be able to get through here, which is where the chest is, eventually. It's through a slightly irritating series of things, because here are hammerbots again, and again, as I showed in Peaceful Village, if they touch you, you're down. No, you're not down, you're up, you're sprung, and then you fly all the way to the top of the damn level. Whoop, there we go. Because they're a big enemy, you have to hit them twice to stun them, you either have to jump on them or hit them once, and then again to actually kill them. Spearbots are just basically like spearheads, but occasionally slightly faster. Because these are all like platforms that you can kind of jump through, like these ones. If you get sprung, you will go flying all the way up back to the top, which is incredibly annoying. But you can kind of leave these crack blocks there deliberately as a kind of roof to stop you from bouncing too high. Like, oh no, bollocks, bollocks. See, you can kind of stick yourself in here rather than like having to fly all the way to the top again and work yourself down. As I say, it's just a really interesting game to me that the gameplay is based around not like avoiding enemies from killing you, but avoiding them from like doing silly things to you and pissing you off. It's kind of, it makes it almost more of a puzzle game in certain senses, if you get what I mean. It's wholly unique. I don't know what the other Wario Land games are like. I've not really played many of them. The only one I've played is Wario Land 4, which isn't really that like this one. But no, I don't know what Wario Land 1 and 2 are like, but this one is very kind of, like the whole idea of having a map screen and stuff very much resembles a Mario game, but the way it actually, the kind of large scale gameplay is very much unlike any Mario game I've ever played, which is awesome. Anyway, this is the first Tornado Scroll. Why is it called that, you say? Well, have a look at the map, you might be able to work it out. But it doesn't do anything on its own. But if we return to Desert Ruins at night, so you can see, firstly, the quicksand's gone, which is kind of nice, and also that means the sand hands have gone, which is even nicer. So if we come over to this side, we'll see, unsurprisingly, Spearhead's asleep because it's night, and the moon door is open. But we want to go through here first, and oh no you don't! I need to get the key. Because, like the other one, you don't need to go through the door to get the key, the door is where the treasure is. It's just up here though, if we just... Oh, nope, go away. That's a nice little... Oh, this is our first red treasure, yeah. Little shortcut back down. This block underneath me here is actually disguised. And it's just a normal block that you'll just crack if you hit it, but the only way of hitting it is by being Fat Wario. Doink. Come on. There we go. So now we've got the red key, we can proceed and get the red treasure. And it's nice like that. Yeah, I decided to do the kind of fancy visualizer just because the size of a Game Boy screen, which is what this is really odd. So I felt like I had to fill the space with something, so I just kept adding more and more stuff until it just started getting a bit silly. You can see here I'm dodging these kind of beam reboters, because if they hit you with that beam, you kind of get flattened down and stand back up. If that top one hits you, it's fine, but if the other two hit you, it knocks you off the ladder, which is annoying. But no, yeah, I just kind of thought, okay, what can I display? I can display treasures alongside it. Might as well display some of the power-ups, some of the music boxes, and I just kept adding more stuff. It'll give me something to do at least. But if we come through this door, then we find, oh, the red treasure chest. Based on the first one, had a treasure called Tornado Scroll 1 in it. Wonder what this second one has in. It's Tornado Scroll 2! Unsurprisingly, I nearly forgot the word tornado. That was a good one. Anyway, no musical coins in that one. So as you can see, that makes the tornado bugger off and unlocks the volcano's base, which is a really cool level, I think, as well. It's quite a big level and there's a lot of rolly stuff in it. So let's roll through there, roll through there. Didn't actually want to come through there. That's not somewhere we can get yet. Like this, and I'll point this out briefly, just because this is what I mean about levels having changes in them. That you can climb up here past these annoying things. If they hit you when they're red, then you get net damage. If they hit you when they're blue, they kind of knock you off the ladder, but you can grab back on. But if we were to get to the top and go through here, you get to this, which doesn't do anything. But remember that for later, because there's a lot of these kind of like changes in levels that open up different areas. Like most levels with this one, you can only do the grey treasure first, which involves rolling down here, and coming through here, and we get the grey key, which is nice. And then the treasure in this is fairly well hidden. I say well hidden, it's just... well, you'll see shortly, because we need to jump up here. Nope. Bollocks that up. Yeah, if you hit a platform, like hit any solid surface while you're rolling, you'll just stop rolling. We need to go up here, roll down there. Oh, interesting. When you're close to the treasure of a certain colour, you'll start getting coins of that colour, which are worth 10, rather than normal coins, which are only worth 1. I'll talk about coins later and what they do. Because here's our first boss. This is Hammer Boy. Oh my god. If one of those hammers hits you, it turns you into Spring Wario, which will instantly remove you from her arena through the kind of top way. Like so. So yeah, you just bounce out the top. Bosses all... Like with normal enemies, bosses don't have a way of like killing you, they just have a way of removing you from their presence, which is quite annoying. There's the chest, but obviously we can't get to it from here, we need to defeat her. We actually jumped past the door, which you get for kind of defeating her. I always call it her, because it always looks like a female, but its name's Doll Boy, so I presume it's male based on that. But no, as you can see, it's fought by just basically punching, dashing into each barrel as it's flashing, and she kind of alternates the angle at which she throws the hammers. Right, now when she's on her own, you basically just need to jump up underneath her to stun her, and then dash her. And she's dead. I keep calling her a she, don't know why, just stuck in my head. But anyway, his hammer, there you go, got it this time. His hammer appears at this point and lets you come up here, go through the door. And we've seen where this takes us. Hey! You can go back down through there if you want to. Don't think you'd have to fight him again to come back here. But anyway, let's open this, because this is it's a new type of treasure. Something unique. Well, not unique, but something we've not experienced before. What is it? Can you tell from the kind of low quality sprite? I'm not sure. Power up, you say? Oh, that means the visualizer on the right will have updated a little bit. Indeed, these are the lead overalls, and the game's going to talk you through what they do. Well, it's going to show you. Press down in midair, butt stomp on things. You can butt stomp through cracked blocks, but not through non-cracked blocks. And you can butt stomp on frogs to knock them into the ground. Now this is interesting, because every other treasure so far has pretty much unlocked a new level or combined with one to unlock a new level, whereas these ones initiate changes in other levels. So it never tells you explicitly what the change is, but obviously you know it's something to do with the power-up you just got. So if we go to the vast plane... Oh, there's one of those frogs that showed us there. He looks angry. But you just butt stomp on him repeatedly, and you'll knock him into the ground. And that allows you to access a new area, and you can see how kind of the treasures interplay with each other and open up new areas. Oh, we're about to come across a new and irritating form of Wario here as well. You know, like the kind of... I always just call them forms, because they're not really power-ups as such. But yeah, if one of these fuckers hits us, we inflate. If you hit any solid platform, you'll deflate and come back through. But like with springs, they're often found in areas that'll knock you through, like... that'll push you through, like, jumping through, like, semi-permeable platforms like this one. So this kind of pulls you up through it. Fortunately, that's where the key is. Almost like I knew that already. So if we punch through here, then we can get the red key. But if you come up through any of the kind of shafts that isn't this one, shafts, then you end up kind of stuck because these little kind of L-shaped things stop you from going back through them, because like you wouldn't be able to punch through. And this ejects us back on the kind of top of the level, so we need to come back down through the frog tube again. I never worked out what that frog's supposed to be holding on to. It looks like it's water, kind of, because watch, if you get off it, it kind of swims back up. I don't know what's supposed to be happening there. Gotta love Game Boy stuff where you can't quite tell what sprites are supposed to be. It's great. Let's kill a Numo. Well, it doesn't really matter if you get stabbed by him, but... Oh, by the way, so, this is the thing I might as well talk about. There's this thing in our way. Minigame clear. Minigame, you say? Oh, let's... Yeah. If they stab you at all, just hit that to degas. If we go through here... Golf. Yes. This is what coins go towards. This can range between being quite fun and extremely infuriating. The kind of flashing paragoon tells you kind of the maximum distance of your shot, so we want to be slightly under that because we don't want to be in a bunker. And it's simple enough as press A for the power, and again for the accuracy. Yes. If you get it on the kind of... The red bit is... let's see what... Oh, can use a very powerful shot here. Oh no. The red bit is kind of standard power, like, and then the two blue bits are forward spin and back spin, respectively. You need to make it in power or under on this. If you don't, it just kind of kills you. Let's give it just a tiny little whack, actually, just basically... Oh, no, I didn't want to be in the damn bunker. Oh, we might be screwed. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're screwed, because then that'll be my fourth shot, and I'll be buggered. Nope. Ha do it again. Dun, dun. It's also worth noting the music in this game. If you're not a fan of it, kind of like Game Boy era, like 8-bit music, it might be infuriating to you, but to me, oh, it's music to my ears. Partly because it sounds like childhood, but also... Oh, this stuff is just catchy and just the best type of music. Okay, we really need to give that maximum welly. I think I just... Oh, no. Oddly enough, it's giving me the same level twice in a row. It doesn't have to do that. It's kind of semi-random, but let's give this a tiny little kind of... That's too much wallop, I think. Oh, no. Right, so we've got one more shot. And max power, we're on slightly just under max power. So let's go for there. Nope, that's not going to make it, is it? Oh, that's annoying. Well, it looks like this could be a longer episode, because this can potentially take ages. And it costs 10 coins a play, so I've only got 3 more tries with it before I have to go and grind coins. That's annoying. Oh, it's giving me a friendly one. This is nice. Got 3 shots to do this. With enough topspin, I could probably do this in 1, but... Yeah! Oh, king me. That was glorious. Why couldn't I have had that? Why couldn't I have had that hole the first 2 times? But that raises the minigame clear block. As you get through the game, the golf levels... Oh, that was awesome. The golf levels it requires you to beat kind of get harder and more annoying. And if we come up to this one to the right, this isn't the way we have to go, but it is where a musical coin is. Might as well add that to the collection. Yeah, as I said, there's 8 in each level, so that means a total of kind of 200, of which we've got like 6 so far. I will be going through, and you kind of get a number of them naturally, and I'll be going through manually in the end and kind of getting all of them. But anyway, if we degas up there, and come over here, it's the red treasure. And this introduces us to another new type of treasure. So far, every treasure we've got is either combined with another one to be, like, open a new level. It's changed levels we've already been on. It's been a power-up. But there are treasures that do nothing. This is one of them. I say nothing. Nothing strictly gameplay related. It falls onto the colourless mountain. And colours part of it in. And indeed, if we then go through the colourless mountain, we will see... Oh, the trees are blue now. No, the shrubs are bluey-greeny. There's 7 crayons in total, and they all kind of colour in there a bit. There are a lot of treasures that... Well, not a lot. I think there's about 20 treasures in total that literally don't do anything, and I kind of count those amongst them. Because they do something, but it's not like... It doesn't alter any levels in any way. But anyway, that is... probably about it for this level. This episode. We can see that based on the fact that that was a non-treasure, the only other change we got from getting the lead overalls was in Out of the Woods. So clearly, that's where we need to go. But obviously, I'll be 100%ing this, so I'll be kind of getting everything as we go along. So next episode, we'll be continuing on in Out of the Woods through the kind of change in there to get the red treasure. But yeah, thanks very much for watching this. One of my favourite games. I'm enjoying it already. I hope you are too. Thanks very much for watching. Good day.